Good day, everybody. My name is Michael Chadwick. I will be your host today for this webinar. Title of the webinar today is how to choose the right ERP software in 5 easy steps. So again, my name is Michael. I work for Fidelio ERP. We are a Canadian-based company out of Montreal. So we've been in business for 22 years now, and we have a solid experience on implementing our ERP software in small and medium-sized businesses in the food and beverage field. So today, the purpose of the webinar is to help you to choose the right ERP for your business. So this is our program today. Common challenges and how can ERP software help meet those challenges. And with our 5 easy steps to help you to get the right ERP for your business. So how to determine the needs and objective of your ERP project, what budget to plan, what functionality are essential for a food and beverage SME, how to handle demonstrations with potential suppliers, so ERP vendors. And step 5, how to make sure that your ERP project is successful and how to maximize your return on investment. So my colleague Aude is on the chat. So if you have any technical issues or questions, you can chat with her directly. And keep in mind that the replay of that webinar will be sent out to you sometime next week, so you can review it. So let's move on with the webinar. At the end also of this webinar, we're gonna keep a 10-minute period if you have any questions. So I'll be able to answer your question with all the pleasure. So what are the common challenges and how can ERP software help meet those challenges? So usually in F&B businesses, challenges can occur, and some of them are common to all of the businesses. So of course there's food traceability, which is a major issue with to be sure that we have the lot numbers. If a recall comes up, it has to be done quickly and to be respond to compliance issues and all that. Also, what we have today in our sector is because of the pandemic, everybody got the labor shortage. So it's hard to get people to have new employees come in. Also the pandemic, we saw the growth of e-commerce. So more and more people, clients, they want to have access to a web portal to place order, get to know what's going on with your businesses and so on and so forth. The global market is changing. Prices also of raw material are going up. That leads to weak margins, and on top of shortage and the increase in pricing on the raw materials, usually for businesses like you that will work with clients with the major chains, Loblaw, Sobeys, for example. There are programs involved, there are rebates involved, and so on and so forth. So you have to know right away if the product, the price point that you're giving them, you at least get a decent margin out of this. So of course there may be other challenges, but this is an example of what comes up usually when we talk about sorry, food and beverage, small and medium-sized businesses. Okay, how can ERP software help? Well, the main purpose of an ERP is to optimize and get the automation out of all your business processes. And one key aspect of good ERP is that it's integrated and it will centralize for you all of the information for all the sectors of your business. So either it's your food compliance, your traceability, accounting, finance, getting to know the margins right away, the profits, the BI, the dashboards, the KPIs, maybe all that ties with sales, your CRM, maybe you need a point of sale because you have a cash and carry counter, EDI transactions with the major chains and so on and so forth. all of the supply chain, the warehouse aspects that you need to focus on, also production, master production planning, and all that stuff. So usually when businesses don't have an ERP, they will have an accounting system and a lot of Excel spreadsheets. So it's hard to get the right information quickly to be able to compare data across the entire business without, you know, having to open up multiple softwares, multiple spreadsheets, and then you maybe get lost at some point. So an ERP will centralize the data and will help you focus on what is really important for you during the day, making sure that you focus on the right things. Moving on. So step number 1 is how to determine the needs and objective of your ERP project according to your business profile. So all businesses are different, but again, in food and beverage, there are some stuff that, you know, comes on top, and they are mainly common to all businesses. So you need to, you know, ask questions if your business is ready to move forward and take that step moving forward in, you know, choosing an ERP software. So questions like, if I have a recall exercise, is this a challenge for me? Is this, you know, have to go to different paper or to different Excel spreadsheet and so on and so forth. So if the traceability for you is an issue or a challenge, or it's really not that quick and easy, it has to be at some point something that an ERP will help you with. Recall exercises. Do you have difficulty tracking and accesses data in real time because it's all over the place? So again, do you process the data more than once? So the classic example that I'm seeing in businesses is that they will have this accounting software. Production will be managed in Excel or another legacy software that they have. And then for procurement, they will do an inventory manually, and then they will get a list in Excel of what needs to be purchased. And then they will retype that purchase order in the accounting software afterwards. So, you know, processing a data more than once, it's error prone. The more that you will, you know, treat a data, the more you're likely to commit probably errors and mistakes. So if that's your reality, that you're always typing the same transaction more than once, well, that's a good key for you to move forward and take that step to an ERP software. Profitability. So again, example I was giving for businesses out there who are working with the major chains like Loblaws and SMBs. You know, you want to know right away if something will be profitable or not. Why? Because if like other systems that you keep track in your accounting software of the rebates, the commissions, the program, well, you will know that only at month end, not live when you are, you know, in your transaction and on a quote, for example, for a new product or for a new sales order. And a good ERP system will tell you right away if you are making profit or not, with all of those other options, programs, rebate, commissions. So it's really important in a world that everything is really fast to get that information right away and not wait until month end when the accounting is finished to know if it was good for us or bad for us. And also getting an accurate view of the inventory in real time. Like we just said earlier, more and more raw material, it's tough to have it. It's more expensive. So I don't want to overstock. I don't want to be short. I want to place my orders in real time, making sure that I have the right stuff at the right moment. So if, again, all this information is not live, is in multiple data spreadsheets, it won't help you. So that's another sign that maybe your business is ready to move forward with an ERP system. Choosing the best team for the selection process is really important. So make sure that you have a strong, sponsor, for example, the president of the company, who will lead the way and saying that this move, getting an ERP, will be a benefit for everybody in the business. You have also to get a project leader or a project manager from your organization within that team, because when the ERP people are kind of going to come in to do the implementation, they will rely on that person, and that person needs to know your business. So someone from outside maybe is a good project manager, but if he doesn't know the culture of your business, if he doesn't know the processes, probably that won't do a good job. Putting together also a selection committee, so to get the buy-in from the employees, asking them questions, asking them what is causing them pain in their daily work, and then they will be like change agent for you also. So it's really important to have people that will help you in the change and moving forward with a new system. Choosing the best team for your selection process. So first of all, are the resources will be available, budget wise, the team, the support, they have to make time in their schedule to make that ERP project a success. So if it's not scheduled, that probably maybe a day or half a day during the week they have to work on the ERP project, it's going to be difficult. Okay. You also have to list your business priorities. So business priorities, they come, maybe you have like tons of it in your mind, but keep in mind that the focus has to be on maybe 3 or 4 key objectives at first, and then you can move on with continuous improvement afterwards. So what could be a business priority? Probably optimizing your stock management, reducing costs, having your information in real time with your dashboard, having a scheduling tool for production, so a production planner tool. So that could be, for example, 3 or 4 key objectives to put in place with the new ERP. What is or what has to be improved? Well, we just talked about it. Typing the transaction more than once, not having an integrated software, or having a legacy system that is not doing the job anymore because it's too old technology-wise. So that also needs to be part of what needs to be solved in your ERP project. Does your business require integration with other people? For example, I was talking about the major chains like Loblaw, SMBs. They will ask you to do EDI transactions. So your ERP has to be ready to do this. Maybe you are producing and you are sending your items in another warehouse. So maybe you have a 3PL partner. Do you want to type that by hand, your transaction, or you want to connect your ERP with the 3PL partner to automate all those processes? So this is all the stuff that needs to be discussed regarding your selection process, to focus on that stuff going forward with the project. What is the budget to plan with an ERP? Well, first of all, for example, if you go on our website at thumbsup.ca with the pricing, it has to be simple. So if you're talking with ERP vendor and licenses are all over the place and it's complicated, well, you can imagine if it's complicated, putting a price on the system, maybe what it's going to be when you need to implement that system. So the simple, the better. That really something that that you need to focus on. But other than that, there may be outside costs. So maybe sometimes for the selection process, business will hire a consultant to help them select the right vendor, to help them during the demo process, and so on and so forth. The time that maybe you will need overtime from your employees, because like we just said, if you want a success, they have to be on board. So probably that in some phases of the project, you need to budget that as well. If it's an old system, it's not a cloud-based system like Fidelio, and your vendor is asking you to buy servers and infrastructure and security and VPNs and all that, well, that's another part that needs to be budgeted in your cost, okay? So difference between cloud-based and on-premise, a real SaaS software like Fidelio, well, it's a service. So it's like paying for your phone bills or your cell phones, okay? So it includes everything. So in your monthly subscription, it will include the software, the hosting on a real solid and secure platform. Like us, we are on Microsoft Azure, and it will also include your service contract, your updates, and everything. The installation fees, it will be on both sides. So ours needs to be done by your partner, your vendor of the ERP. And if you need some customizations to be done also, well, that could be something that needs to be planned out as well in your budget. Okay, so it's not only the cost of the system and the implementation. Sometimes you need to look outside the box and include all those other costs that may occur during your ERP implementation project. And also in cost, sometimes you have to, because a lot of people are asking me, is it worthwhile? What would be my ROI and so on and so forth. So I challenge them with a question, and I ask them all the time, in your mind, if you think about all the non-quality processes or lack of efficiency that you have in your business today with the system that you are using today, can you put a number on that on a daily basis? And most of the time, they give me a number. And when I told them, this is the price that you would pay daily for using Fidelio, and getting rid of all those bad processes, well, they get the ROI right there. So yes, there are classic things that you might think of that it's bad quality and I'm losing money, like waste, scrap, rework, all the your administration costs and so on and so forth. But if you have delays in your supply chains, maybe you'll be losing sales, maybe you will lose some customers, maybe if you have always like inefficiency in your productions, you have to relaunch production and so on and so forth. So maybe that's hidden from you and you don't think about it. So getting to know the ROI, you have to globally evaluate the cost of non-efficiency in your business. And like I said, now every time the clients are asking me for that, their ROI, when I challenge them with that question, the Fidelio cost is always lower. Okay, so this is a good example on how to get the ROI out of your ERP project. What functionalities are essential for a F&B business? Well, first, determine the need of functionality. You have to, make a list of what you must have and what would be a nice to have. So this is where the must have with your ERP vendor, you have to focus on that, because this is what you need to have for the first day of going live. And then maybe in other phases on a continuous improvement project afterwards, you can focus on the nice to have. So remember that the key is to have everything in one system, have all your information, have all your traceability, have your production schedule rolling, have all your programs and discounts and rebates and all that, and all your commissions in the system to get to know right away if you're making profit or not, and all that stuff. So this would be more the must-have. And nice to have could be afterwards an e-commerce platform. If you don't have one now, and maybe in the future that will be good for you. Another example would be, for example, if you do not have a WMS system in your warehouse, and in the phase 2, you would be glad to have that and scan everything to have better efficiency managing your inventory. So that could be kind of a nice to have in a phase 2. Other things that you need to focus also is that new ERP, it has to be intuitive, it has to be tech savvy, it has to be for the user interface, the user experience, it has to speak for itself. When the users are going to look at it, they need to get it right away. So if, again, it's not intuitive, it's like confusing and all that. So if you are the business expert and you find that confusing, well, imagine your staff, that could be worse also for them, okay? Requests for proposal are a good tool also. So for example, making that list of must have and nice to have, that could be also a tool based on, usually it's based on function in your company. So you would say, for example, for accounting and accounts receivable, accounts payable, for month end, for financial analysis, what are my must have and my nice to have? So if you do that during in a short list, to send that to your vendor saying, okay, this is what is critical for me, this is my must have, and this is maybe what could be on a phase 2, my nice to have, and then the vendor will answer you saying, yes, this is a standard feature, or no, I need to get an add-on to make that feature work, or I need to develop something else in my system. So you would be able to score all those potential vendors and comparing apples with apples and getting a real score out of what is going on throughout the vendors, and I have a better idea or how to evaluate them and how to choose your finalists also moving forward, okay? So that could be a good tool for you. How to handle demonstration with suppliers or vendors. So again, you have to make sure, are you dealing with the conceptor of the ERP, like us, Fidelio, or you are dealing with an integrator of a brand name solution? So the difference between the two is, if I give you a quick example again, like if you're dealing with the conceptor and the owner of the solution, like Fidelio, that we have been in business for more than 20 years, it's kind of, if you want to buy a car, you would go directly at the car factory and you would talk with the engineer who designed and build the car, okay? On the other hand, if you're with an integrator, it would be like you're at the dealership and you're talking with the sales rep in the dealership. So that's the main difference. At one end, you have someone who has complete control on the system and the technology. And on the other hand, you have a reseller of a system that, will, if the system, the main core does not do it, he's going to, propose you hundreds of add-on that they can plug in. And again, they are not controlling the technology and the integration between the main software and those add-ons. So this is something that you need also to put in your score sheet, okay? Also, remember, when you will ask them for the must-have and the nice-to-have, that should, give you the script of your demo, what you want to see. So if you create that script, it has to be important that the vendor, the potential vendor, will follow that script and show you what is important for you in your key processes. That's really a must for you in your selection process. And also, if during the demo, your vendor is always trying to show you some wow effect instead of focusing on your key processes, that's not a good thing. So you need to really focus on the script and the key processes for your business, okay? Demonstration, you have to, remember to ask those key questions. So one is this solution, is it really fully integrated, or is a core with a bunch of add-ons? So because moving forward, if that add-on is not supported anymore by the main provider or the brand name, maybe it's going to say, well, the add-on that you bought 3 years ago, it's not supported anymore by us, so now you have to change. So that could be something also that in the long, or not even, sometimes not in the long term, but it will affect and add other costs in the solution that you're gonna have. Okay. Can the solution evolve according to your future need, your growth? So in other words, is this scalable? So now I'm at that level, but my game plan is to be at this level. So they have to show you during the demo that it will be able to scale up with you guys, okay? How will the implementation be organized? So is there a plan? Is there a game plan? Is it a team? Is it an individual out? So it's really important for you to know that, because you need to rely on a great team to help you implement the new ERP in your business. What will be our role in the implementation? So it's a teamwork. The vendor has to tell you that he's going to take part of the work, but most of the work also will be done by the client itself, because it's your project, it will be your system. So the more you use it quickly, it's more be quick also to have your ROI at the same time. So it's really important to determine the roles of both sides during the implementation process as well. Do we need development or interfacing with other software? What's going to be the cost of that? For example, when we talked about 3PL, so if you want to hook up or EDI transaction, is that for free? What will be the cost? How does it work? So it has to be questions to be answered during the demo. What is the technology behind your software? Is it new technology? Is it old technology? So because moving forward, more and more, everything's going to be on the web. So again, someone who is coming to you and it's not already on the web in 2021, you can you know, ask questions of where are they going with that technology. And also support after deployment. Is there any documentation, webinars, on-site training, and so on and so forth? So those questions are really important. How to make sure your ERP project is successful and how to maximize ROI. So you have to avoid those mistakes. So there's a bunch of them now, and maybe others, or throughout my experience in more than 20 years in the business and now 16 years with Fidelio, when mistakes occur, it's probably sometimes making a decision without consulting the team, not comparing apples with apples sometimes, minimizing the time and effort required to implement the system. Like I told you, it's your project, it's your business, it's you that want to improve stuff. So the more you get it, the quickest you get it, the more benefits you will have quickly. Trusting the provider who keeps saying during the demo, there's no problem, but is not showing you the process in the system. So if he keeps saying there's no problem, well, usually there's a problem. So be aware of that. Also, sometimes what I've heard and what I saw during my career, instead of showing you the actual system, they're going to show you PowerPoints and whatnot. So that's not a real live demo. It has to be live. It has to be in the system. You have to see what's going on with the process that you want to improve in your business. We talked about that earlier, the wow, the gimmicks, the bells and whistles. That's not going to cut it when when you need some real stuff according to what's important in your business. And if they don't want to follow the agenda that you had in your grid to make your scoring sheet, well, also that's a red flag, because they probably don't have maybe the functionality to show you. So be aware of that. Okay. Automation process is really essential nowadays. A good example is the e-commerce platform in the F&B business. So mostly all of our clients are using our integrated web platform. For what? Because this web platform enables you to give access directly to your customers so they can see what's going on with your business. They can see what's going on with their orders, where the deliveries, past invoices, statement of account. They can also place orders by themselves, track that order, and so on and so forth. So instead of hiring more people at customer service to type in orders, well, all this process can be automated with that web portal. So asking of what's the ROI on this? Well, if you do a quick calculation and you would hire someone at minimum wage, well, that web portal that will work for you 24/7, 365 will cost you less than half of that cost of someone that will be working for you at minimum wage only on the 40-hour schedule. So talking of ROI, that's a huge ROI, that's a huge benefit. So this is a really great example that moving forward, everything is going to be on the web. Your customer, if they don't ask it now, well, in the short term, they will for those automations. You can download our guide. Today I give you, kind of an overview, but we have a complete guide with all those steps for you and all the checklists and all the tools, really to help you, get the most of your ERP selection. So you can go on our website, comsoft.ca. I think my colleague Aude will put the link in the chat, so you will be able to go directly in the webinar chat and get that link and download this document that will help you to be, that follow all the steps and with checklist, question, tips to help you really have a success in your ERP selection. So go at comsoft.ca, you have the link in the chat, and you're gonna be able to download this guide. So we have a little bit more than 10 minutes ahead of us for questions. So feel free to go if you have questions. I will be more than happy to answer them. Oh, do you have any questions in the chat?
No questions yet.
Okay. Well, if timing is not good for you now to ask questions, you can email us at info@comsoft.ca. Either me or Patrick, who is in charge here in Toronto of operations, will get back to you and answer your questions. Like we said at the beginning of the webinar, the link for the replay will be sent to you in next week. And I'm really glad that you joined us today for that webinar. Go and download the entire guide on our website, comsoft.ca. So if there's no question, I will end the webinar. It was a pleasure having you today. So thank you very much for your time. It's really appreciated. And we will look forward hearing from you guys. And we would be glad to help you in choosing the right ERP solution. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.